What is a genocide? Plateau communities will tell you of how about 164 communities were displaced and subsequently resettled by Fulani, foreign Fulanis who have no business in Nigeria. It was in this same country that we had Baraje tell all of us. He told all of us in this country that in the lead up to the 2015 election, the APC brought terrorists, foreign Fulanis into Nigeria. That is not something Dele Farotimi said. The man who said it is still alive. He said it openly, was reported, widely reported at the time. You and I are sat here in the comfort of Lekki's air-conditioned room. We can be debating the niceties of the meaning of genocide. But the persons whose communities have been displaced, who are in IDP camps all over the Middle Belt, the persons who have shouted on EDED for years, who have alleged for years that there is governmental complicity, the persons who sat and were watching somebody like Commodore Lawumi, a person in the military intelligence circle, telling the whole world that as far back as 2016, a list of terrorist sponsors, some of whom were in Buhari's government, in the Senate, in government houses, had been given to Buhari since 2016. Nothing happened. He made that announcement in the studio, Channels TV studio. That was in 2022. Nothing has happened. And then, so it's because of Donald Trump that they are all having palpitations. Well, Yorubas did say that téèyàn bá lẹ́gbẹ́ alágídí nínú ilé, èèyàn náà máa lágídí. If the people who are being oppressed cannot find the capacity to fight their oppressors, and the irresponsible government that has, even if you don't blame this government for complicity, the crass negligence and irresponsibility of this government has been long established, and it's not just Bulaba. It started with Buhari. The crass negligence, even the words that proceeds from the mouth of their spokespersons. I remember Femi Adesina stupidly telling them, give up your land so that you can leave. And then these ones, they will be coming with the false narrative that is some elder farmers clash. What stupid farmer others clash? Yelawata. This shameless president went all the way to Makurdi. He wouldn't go to Yelawata. What was his excuse? Bad road. Over 200 persons were slaughtered. Why? So if people are saying, look, I think Trump's language might not even have been helpful. Because there is nothing Trump has said that those of us living in Nigeria, observing our reality, have not said. It didn't take Trump to call this a genocide. This is a genocide. That is what it is. One of the commonest denominating factor of a majority of those who have been killed is their Christian faith. And Christianity is a matter of identity in northern Nigeria. It's not like South here, where you can move from being a Christian today to being a Muslim tomorrow. We are liberal enough down here. The reality is that in northern Nigeria and in the Middle Belt, for you to identify as a Christian is a matter of identity. It's not just about faith. So when persons who are largely Christians are disproportionately targeted and government turns a blind eye, Yelawata is particularly troublesome because there is a forward operating base of the Nigerian army less than a kilometer from the location. And they were shooting in the air instead of going to the aid of those who are being murdered. And this is the same story that is told repeatedly across the battle scenes. The complicity of the security agencies, the lack of political will on the part of the political masters, the bad funding and inadequate equipment. But at the end of the day, it does not change the fact. Take away the language. If you don't like it being called massacre, if you don't like it being called genocide, you cannot deny the fact that human beings should not be dying in the numbers that Nigerians are dying. And there is still a government in that space. And somebody is shamelessly collecting allocations in those places that have become ungovernable and ungoverned, with complete abandonment by these irresponsible ruiners of this country. So please, whatever, they may not like the language, but human beings are dying and they should do something about it.
Talking about doing something about it,
yeah.
I mean, what structural or policy framework should this government?
They should first of all stop lying to themselves that nothing is happening. They should stop with all the stupid propaganda. First thing first, stop with the propaganda. You may not like the language of Trump, but deal with the reality of Trump's truth. The truth is not devalued even in the mouth of a liar, or in the mouth of a bigot for that matter, or even in the mouth of somebody as hateful as Trump can be sometimes. But the reality is that he hasn't lied. Nigerians are being killed because of their faith, which is aligned with their ethnic identity, particularly in the theater of war. And the Nigerian press has become so irresponsible that it is almost as if it's not even almost, it is definitely helping the Nigerian government to cover the truth of what is happening. Why is the Nigerian press self-censoring itself to the point where even to report the truth of what is happening in Nigeria has become a problem? How? Everywhere in Nigeria, somebody is dying somewhere, but nobody is talking. They would rather wait to be briefed.
Talking about the media, you're saying that the Nigerian media has not done enough in order to objectively interrogate religious violence. Some have argued that this will further deepen the polarization itself.
If the truth will kill them, let it kill them. There is no way you can heal this country without telling the truth. We're still lying about things that happened during the Civil War. We lie about everything. We don't tell ourselves the truth. If you do not correctly diagnose a problem, how do you treat the problem? Telling people the truth of what happened is not going to deepen any rift. Sometimes it is necessary to confront a people with a mirror so that they see the truth of their own ugliness. And that is where we are as a people. It is in this same country, for heaven's sake, a young girl, Deborah, was murdered by her classmates in Sokoto, murdered in a school, a place of learning, for something she said on a WhatsApp platform. She was murdered. They even recorded themselves doing it. Who has paid for that crime? A society could not find sufficient outrage to demand justice because religion became a factor. Persons lost their brain. What kind of society are we building? And then we can't tell ourselves the truth. There is Jackson. What you call a court, the Supreme Court, actually found the idiocy to send a person to death for defending himself on his own farm against a person who wanted to kill him. He then killed his attacker, and you are sentencing him to death. Where is that done? How does that even make sense? How do you begin to process that and then say that we shouldn't tell ourselves this truth? I have no hatred in my heart for anybody. It's too much of a load to be carrying around. But if somebody has done something, say so. A lot of things are being done in my name as a Yoruba person, but it doesn't make me a party to those things. But those looking on from outside would speak generally to the Yoruba as though that sums up my own humanity as well. Not every Fulani is an Islamist murderer, but persons have hidden themselves under the cover of that ethnicity and the privileges that comes with it in the unjust country that we have built to perpetrate evil. And we are forced to speak to the evil that they have done. It is not the persons or their ethnicity. The fact that persons hide behind these different identities in the Nigerian space is a function of the unjust society we have built, where persons are not dealt with as human beings, but as members of blocks. So my humanity is reduced. Oh, the Yorubas have done this, and all of a sudden, that is the totality of my humanity summed up right there. But the fact cannot be it. These things are being done in the name of persons, in the name of groups, in the name of religions, and it behoves the persons whose names are being taken to speak against the evils that are being done in their names. These things are real, and they are happening.
Will you support, we would like to get your perspective when you speak to Donald Trump's intervention in this regard?
Listen, it is a thing of shame for me, and I speak to it a lot when I say Nigeria hobbles me. It makes me feel like I am bound and my wings cannot flap simply because I'm a Nigerian. I come from the most blessed land in the entire world, the richest country in the world, but because I am ruined by horrible, unimaginative morons, someone like Donald Trump will sit down in America and be calling my country a disgraced country. Has he lied? He hasn't lied. They've disgraced us multiple times in multiple fashion. He can be telling me about how he will come into my country gun blazing if the ruiners of my country fail to protect fellow victims of this country. Because we focus too much on what he said he would do if they fail. Why must they fail? Is it not bad enough that it has taken the landlord from like 3-4 houses away to come and tell our father that his children are starving and dying in their home? That should be sufficient reason to motivate them into doing whatever is required to safeguard the lives of Nigerians who are being slaughtered. I would imagine that that should be enough. I don't support another country threatening my country. But the point is, am I even a citizen of the country I'm supposed to be feeling patriotic about? If Nigeria is protecting the lives of Nigerians, why would any Nigerian be celebrating the fact that another country is threatening to come and invade their own? That some people are busy with all the propaganda about patriotism and nationalism is hogwash. When did they discover sovereignty of Nigeria? Where was that sovereignty in 2014, 2015 when they were busy dancing skelewu for America to come and get rid of Jonathan? Where was that skelewu when I saw a video, I think that was in 2023, when Nuhu Ribadu was busy lobbying American senators and congressmen to come and help them? If it is now no longer convenient for them, am I supposed to feel sorry for them? Look, let's be clear about something. This is the first time in months when the Tinubu government has had anything other than on his mandate they are standing, other than 2027. The only thing they've been talking about since 2023 is 2027. They have not even paid any attention to the plight of the victims. They have not cared, and they still really do not care. Because if they care, they will be focused on the solution and not the propaganda of any response to Trump. So since Trump began his tirade, his Twitter tirade, what has happened? Almost every security agency in Nigeria is apprehending terrorists. They are bombing terrorists. What happens is all this time? If the only thing that happens as a result of Trump's intervention is that the attention of this government is refocused on governance, if it is to stop them from further complicity in the mess, that's more than enough.